Hey Sam, happy Sunday. So I had a very productive weekend, and by that I mean incredibly unproductive, and procrastinated all the work I was supposed to do. Uh, so Friday I was supposed to do work, but then instead I played board games all day. And then Saturday I was supposed to do work, but then I woke up late, and then played video games most of the rest of the day. And then today, I really needed to do all the work I procrastinated the first 2 days. And then I woke up kind of late, and then I just sat in the dining hall and talked to people for 6 hours, and then I watched Star Wars with friends, and then I briefly did work for like 2 hours after that. But was a very productive weekend, I gotta say. The Super Bowl happened. I didn't watch it due to the fact that I couldn't find a good way to pirate it for free, and I couldn't find a good place to watch it. I heard Bad Bunny did a Super Bowl performance. I heard it was good. Couldn't watch it, sadly. Maybe in a few days when I find it for free on YouTube, I'll watch it, and hopefully it'll be very sly. The Seahawks won, who are I think Seattle, and they beat the Patriots. So Slay, I don't know. I like both Boston and Seattle. Didn't really care who won. Yeah, one of the Super Bowls of all time. What else is no, other than the fact that I'm procrastinating infinitely. Oh, okay. So while I was at the dining hall today, I had some very interesting conversations with people. Well, I had many conversations about many different stuff. I was in there for quite a while with a sort of revolving roster of other people coming and going. But the big ones were, we would quite a talk about how C++ was a mistake and should never have been invented. Actually, most of it was talking programming languages, but I think that's fairly uninteresting to you and, almost the entirety of the human population, actually. But we also had some more interesting conversations. We had a fun one about how Xi Jinping, what is the word? Fired, replaced, kicked out one of the top people in charge of China military. And why he did that. Where my theory was just, yeah, it's probably genuinely corruption. I mean, it's not hard to believe a Chinese official was corrupt. Though, of course, before anyone gets mad at me for being anti-China or whatever, it's important to point out that basically the entirety of the US government is ludicrously corrupt, so it's not, not like the worst in here. It's just, perhaps over there they actually, arrest people for being corrupt. Yeah, but, I don't know, there's some had other theories about how Xi Jinping was getting paranoid, or maybe he was genuinely leaking secrets or something, but I don't know. It will probably remain a mystery for the next, 10 to 20 years until somebody eventually, maybe it'll never be unclassified, who knows. What else are we talking about? Oh, and then I guess sort of the most interesting thought experiment we were having, or sort of argument, was, should everyone have the right to vote? As in, this is really, really tempting idea. Truly quite tempting that, perhaps some or other we should limit the people who can vote to, sort of the founding father idea of, only the educated should vote, or, only people with college degrees, only people with high school degrees, only people who can pass a certain, civics exam, only people with PhDs can. And these ideas are, now the thing is, for most of the argument, I was sort of taking that side, mostly because nobody else there wanted to take the side, and I felt the idea was a bit too compelling. Because I would say, I was just being the devil's advocate, but I think that's perhaps giving myself too much credit, as despite knowing those ideas are wrong and dangerous and remarkably foolish, there's some real power over you. They are very powerful, what's the word? Engrossing? Devious? I don't know what's wrong with these ideas, but they seem remarkably tempting. And of course, there's the wise half of me, the smart half of me that realizes, no, this is a terrible idea. But then there's some small part of me that's like, but what if it actually would work? And the dangerous part is, as I sort of won the argument as the devil's advocate, where by the end, everyone there, I don't think they thought it was a good idea, in the sense that I also didn't think it was a good idea, but everyone I was talking to seemed significantly more open to the idea than they were at the beginning, which is very dangerous, considering it is not something that should, win arguments. It is a bad, terrible idea, and a policy that, if actually implemented, would almost certainly be disastrous and exclusionary and, hurt the marginalized and almost certainly only make things worse. And yet, somehow it won the argument. I don't know what the moral of the story is, other than, the devil doesn't need an advocate, and yeah. Okay, well, that's all I have to say to you today, Sam. Actually, I went over 5 minutes. I want to, put this video at, 20% faster speed to make it fit, but oh well. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye, brother.